You know, one of the great disappointments about what we've seen in the climate change debate here is a lack of scientific fact.
Please tell us what kind of message, what you are doing here today, what kind of message would you send by doing this to world leaders? And also can I ask you, do you think it's about time that President Trump would respond to what you have said today?
I think... I'm sorry, what was the first question?
What's the message you would like to send to our leaders by doing what you are doing?
I think what we want to send is... The message we want to send is to say that we have had enough. And anyone else wants to answer that question? I can't speak on behalf of everyone.
Anyone wants to answer about the message to world leaders?
What about President Trump? He's here today. Do you think he should respond in any way?
I think maybe you should give some questions to the others as well.
You know, one of the great disappointments about what we've seen in the climate change debate here is a lack of scientific fact being passed on to school children. Yes, we're warming, only slightly, and it is not the end of the world. But if you listen to the likes of Greta Thunberg, no wonder children are grossly anxious about this issue. Alarmism is unwarranted, and thankfully, a conservative foundation in Europe has found an anti-Greta teenage sensation. And she too is beginning to grace the international stage. I thought it was time you met this symbol for common climate sense. It's about time we had that. Naomi Seipert is in Germany. Welcome to Sky News Australia, Naomi.
Hi, thank you so much for giving me a platform to speak about climate realism again.
Well, it's okay to speak English, right?
Yes, I forgive you.
Okay, good. How are you enjoying your instant fame? Because you are getting plenty of it.
Oh, well, that is very strange in many ways, because I always considered myself kind of a bit of a nerd at school and the unpopular kid. So, yeah, but when I was at CPAC, for example, it was so fascinating to see many young people coming up to me, being so excited about the science behind climate change, and really to see that I had inspired young people to become excited about a scientific topic again and to make climate change science cool again. Because really, climate change at this point is mostly just about politics and about alarmism, spreading panic and protesting for Fridays for Future.
So you call yourself a climate realist, right? A climate realist, so you believe we are warming slightly?
Yes, exactly, I do. And I don't like the term climate denier, because I don't deny that it's warming. And of course, CO2 is a greenhouse gas, so it does contribute to some warming. But I believe that the effect is absolutely insignificant. And on top of that, we have gained many benefits, not only from using cheap and reliable energy sources efficiently, like fossil fuels, but also from warming. For example, better crop yields, and we can feed the population because it's been getting warmer. We do benefit from some amount of warming.
I want to raise an interview you did only recently with Piers Morgan of Good Morning Britain, where at the end of the interview, he actually had to apologise to you because you answered a question that he said about whether it's warming, and he was talking about dangerous warming, and you were answering that question accurately. This is a little bit of the interview with Piers Morgan.
Do you believe the planet is heating up at a dangerous rate?
No, I do not believe that.
But that is a clear, if you don't mind me saying, that is a clear, demonstrable fact supported by 2,000 of the world's leading scientists. And with all due respect to you, I get that you want to have the publicity of being the anti-Greta and so on, but that is a fact that can't be disputed by anybody who should be taken seriously in this debate. It's just a fact. The planet is heating up.
The point is, yes, there may be some amount of global warming, but the question that we must ask
Well, you just said there wasn't. Which one is it?
No, well, I'm saying, no, you asked me, is there a catastrophic amount of global warming?
No, I didn't. I just said, do you believe that the planet's heating up?
So that's interesting, Naomi, because you were quoting him correctly and accurately. He wasn't quoting himself accurately, and as a result, he had to apologise at the end. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. And yeah, but I don't blame him, because this just shows that most people are not really aware of how they talk about climate change anymore. And when they ask questions like, do you believe in climate change? They don't realize that they are asking a very vague question. They're not really asking, do you believe that humans are causing climate change, that we are experiencing drastic and irreversible and very damaging amounts of global warming, and so we need to be more precise with our questions, especially when it comes to scientific questions, and most people are not aware of that anymore.
Exactly. There are nuances that need to be followed according to the science. Yeah, Greta has today rejected a European Union Parliament climate proposal of having zero net emissions targets by 2050. It doesn't go far enough. It's too late, she said. Firstly, what's your reaction to that response?
That's just another way to spread panic. And I think she doesn't even know what to do with those numbers herself. She has never looked into the science. Well, at least I have never heard her talk about the science. So how is she supposed to know anything about what are the perfect political measures to take when it comes to climate change?
She keeps criticising Australia, Naomi, and she keeps saying, oh, we should just stop our production of coal and coal-fired power stations. Of course, we don't have any other source of baseload power apart from gas. We don't have nuclear like you've got in parts of Europe, so we can't rely on that. And of course, renewables won't power this world, and we'll be sitting in the dark, and our economy will be smothered by this primitive way of living again.
Exactly. This will make us slaves of high taxes and of unreliable energy sources, which might lead to a blackout, which is extremely dangerous, because we need energy. We need cheap and reliable energy, and we cannot drive people into eco-depression, eco-anxiety, and energy poverty.
I hope you don't react at public events like I saw Greta Thunberg react today, where after the Parliament, came halfway and said, well, we'll stop we'll have a zero net emissions target by 2050, she wouldn't shake the hand of the EU president. I hope you don't behave like that.
Oh, no, I don't. I always make sure to be polite, because I don't see a point in being a pessimist in any way. And I'm not anti-Greta. I'm not some kind of evil right-wing anti-Christ. That's not how I want to present myself. And I want to have discussions and conversations with everyone on all sides of the political spectrum.
Are school children in Europe as scared as Australian kids are of climate change?
Perhaps it's even worse. I can't say for sure, but I see the Fridays for Future protests all the time. In Germany, it's very strong. It's a very strong movement. And we also have Antifa, and they work together with many of the climate change protesters. So yes, I do absolutely experience that regularly.
What are your thoughts about the future? My view is, when it comes to warming, things will sort themselves out, because what we usually do in history is come up with new technology to solve our problems and to become productive again. We've seen it time and time again. What are your thoughts about the future in global warming?
I 100% agree with you. And what will help us make more progress towards a better and prosperous future, that's cheap and reliable energy. And of course, it's fantastic if we invest in research on alternative energy sources, but we must stay realistic about it. And, for example, not demonize alternative sources like nuclear energy. Yeah, let's just keep an open mind for more science on the topic. Let's just have more scientists have discussions about these very important and very complex topics. And let's just not blindly follow people like celebrities and Greta Thunberg, and even just politicians. They don't know anything about the science either.
And maybe Piers Morgan should be thrown into that little bowl.
I forgive him, though.
Naomi, great to meet you, and great to introduce you to my viewers as well. Thank you very much, and good luck with what you're doing.